Hi friend, Megan here. Today we're going to work on jaw and mouth tension as well as tinnitus because they're actually connected. So let's start by taking a few deep breaths just to get oxygen going through our system. When we breathe, we want to inhale very deeply and slowly, feeling everything open in every direction. So inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Watch yourself relax and melt a little bit. Notice if there's any tension. Inhaling and exhaling. So let's stretch it out a little bit. And if you have cracked lips, get a little water and put some lip balm on. We're going to start by pressing our lips together and opening up and breathing deep. Stretching the mouth as wide as you can. And exhale, watch it all relax. Again, press the lips together. Inhale. Stretch it. One more. Next, we're actually going to do a breath that's a cooling breath because a lot of this stuff's inflammation. So this is one you can do throughout the day where you inhale through the mouth, right, through the nose, through the nose. Exhale. So out through the mouth, big, deep breath out. Inhale. Exhale. And stick your tongue out and exhale. Extend it out as long as you can. So that's oxygenating us, it's helping relax us, it's helping stretch. Alright, so let's move to the sides of the lips. So I use my knuckles here and I push in and I'm going to wiggle it back and forth. Because there's actually all through here, there's muscles making your mouth tight. And keep breathing. Do some circles. And keep doing some breath through the nose. Now we're going to move underneath here. You can actually see my mouth is uneven because I have a big block right here. So you can see that this sort of sticks up. So I've got a bigger knot on this side than this side. And actually, it's actually making my face uneven, so I can feel a little ridge of a muscle. And so I'm really pushing in. I'm pushing in right under the lips. Inhale up. Exhale, stretch. And actually the next one I want you to do, I want you to feel like you're yawning. Then stretch it the whole way back through the throat. And a lot of times it'll actually trigger your body to do a real yawn, which is a really cleansing breath. And you can actually feel the inside of your throat expand. Alright, next we're going to work on the chin. And this one I'm pressing in and pulling down. Pressing in and pulling down, pressing in and down, and so now I'm going to walk it from one side to the other, and down, in, and down. A lot of people are surprised by how much this one hurts and how much we hold in our chin. And down, in, and down. Good. Next we're going to grab the bottom part of the chin and we're going to squeeze in like an orange. And we're going to rub right on the chin. So I didn't say that you can use oils with this. I would use only natural oils. Coconut oil, calendula, shea are all really good or anti-inflammatory. And welcome to the jungle. I'm out on my patio, listening to the birds and the wind and the river below. So hopefully that little sense of nature and relaxation translates. Alright, we're going to do the other hand actually, because I noticed that one, like the knuckle of the thumb can be stronger than the other finger, so you can get different points. Make sure you stay even. Alright. How does your chin feel? Does your mouth feel a little more even now? Good. Alright. We're going to walk it the whole way back through the jaw. So we're going to stick our thumb in and under the jaw and be pushing out. And we're pulling. From here all the way back. So it's actually common in Asian cultures to have a thinner jawline and do exercises through here. You can also use your knuckles like this, stick your jaw in between and go like this. And this one's easier if you have oils and it slides. But I like pressing a bit more when I don't have oils, and I like to be able to do these things without having gear or having setup, that I can just kind of go for it and learn pressure points without having any prep. Alright, so next we're going to find this spot right behind the jawbone, right underneath the ear. So there's a little indent right here. And we're going to press in with the thumbs or press in with the fingers wherever you have the most strength. And we're going to stretch our mouth as we do this one. Open it as wide as you can and start to get the range of motion again. Alright, good. Next we're going to pull on the ears. Pull, squish, and pull down. And then we're going to yawn again. So what I noticed about energy moving through the face is it actually releases out the ears. So you might hear your ears pop and crack. And this is why the jaw tension and tinnitus are connected, because all of that gets blocked up and then any kind of vibrations come through and they start to ring. So the more we can get our ears to crack, and then I want you to try rolling your chin back and forth, your lower jaw. Open. And you're going to kind of push the jaw out. And then that one you'll feel the cracks. Alright, so next we're going to do right in front of the ears, where the ear meets the head. So I'm pushing in. And again, you might hear your ears crack and pop. And that's why this one's good for tinnitus. Also try to roll the chin back and forth again with this one. And then push and up and down. So these all help the jawbones start to show up again. It also thins the lower part. I also noticed that my cheeks will start to get swollen and they'll kind of sag down a little bit. And this one really helps the skin reconnect. So you don't get the saggy jowls. Alright, let's see. There's another one behind the ear. So I want you to feel right behind the ear in the ridge where the hair isn't growing, just where the skin is. And there's a bump there for more people than not. That bump is not bone. That's calcification deposits and tension that got pulled back. I noticed that, like, if I'm out in a crowd and I feel like I have to be on, that almost feels like the mask goes on and it pulls back behind the ears. So let's push and smooth the skin behind the ears. So there's a couple things that happen when this one releases, because at the beginning you won't feel any movement, and a lot of times it almost feels numb. But what happens is that you'll start to feel, if you continue doing this, like nodules show up, like little, almost like little cysts under the skin. And sometimes you'll even get a little breakout there. But then that nodule will soften and the actual thing you thought was bone will smooth out. So if you ever touch the back of a child's head, they don't really have anything. It just goes completely flat. Mine used to stick out so far. It changed the shape of my head. But this one is really, really great. So I'm using 2 fingers and I'm rolling along that bump on the skin where the hair does not grow, right behind the ears. So we're gonna do that deep breath in and really stretch it out. Okay, now we're gonna move to some stretches for the neck, for under here. A lot of times people start to get this sagging chin where this whole part gets kind of blocked. So I want you to stick your fingers along the bump in your throat, and I want you to push in really gently. This one can feel really uncomfortable and vulnerable for people, so start really gently, but you can dig in and you can actually hear it crack. That's okay. Those are all those calcifications. Mine used to go the whole way down, and I've kind of moved them up, so I have one piece right here still. But feel free to take that down and move it up. But you're kind of pushing the voice box back and forth. You can switch hands too, which I think is important, not only for the brain to recalibrate, but to get those same places. And excuse me, this one will actually start to release mucus, like a thick mucus. Try to spit that out. You can actually hear it in my voice that it just shifted. Okay. But you'll notice some mucus starts to form as soon as you do some stuff with your neck. The other thing that can happen is if you're doing really intensive neck stuff, you can start to feel like a slight sore throat for the next day, and then it'll usually cool down. Drink lots of water and flush out all that stuff that's trying to release. All right. The other one that I want to show is how to do a deep stretch through here and through here. So we're going to lift our head and drop our shoulders. We're going to breathe right into this area, like the trachea area. And I want you to lift your chin as high as you can. And look back, and you can actually feel all this stuff kind of pop open. With some deep breathing. And each time I want you to breathe and pull, and then relax completely into it. Breathe and pull, and watch your breath open right here. Visualize all your breath and all your intention going right here. Now I want you to do the same thing in this area. Breathe and pull. So this one helps to tighten the bottom of the chin. It also helps to open communication issues. A lot of times what I see is that when people start getting a lot of neck skin, they tend to come from families where people were either told to not talk about things or talk really carefully, sweep things under the rug, and they feel kind of blocked. And so then they start getting this extra blockage here, and then the fat that covers it to protect the area. So as soon as you start opening it up, and there's a nice mantra of like, I'm safe to speak. I'm safe to speak my truth and my perspective. So you might be noticing some saliva and some mucus, so feel free to spit that out. All right. So let's just take a note of how our neck is feeling. And if it feels a little softer, a little more relaxed, and if you are still holding tension in it, notice that too, and try to melt it, relax it, because we can do a lot with just our intention. We can do a lot with our breath, which is why I share a lot about the pressure points, but not just the physical manipulation of it, but actually bringing energy and intention and oxygen to that area. So let's see, the other one that I really like is right in here. And so we're going to push right next to the nose where the cheek connects. And this one I say too, you can lean your head down and let gravity do the work rather than using your muscles and effort. So you can press and you can move it a little. So I try not to rip on the skin. I'm kind of letting my skin move along with it. And I know there's a lot of myths about not touching your face and things like that. And certainly if you've got a lot of makeup, do clean your face before you do this. So you're not pressing all of that makeup around. I no longer wear makeup. I had a pretty bad cycle of bad acne. And I realized that the makeup was doing a lot of damage. And I was also asking myself why I felt like I needed it. Who says that we need it? Who says our face needs to be decorated? And certainly there's a lot to say about like making our features brighter and accentuating them. But for me personally, I just like fresh face, no makeup. Alright, the other one we're going to do is nose pulls. So first, let's shush it. And you can actually feel the nostrils move. Take a breath in. I bet you can already breathe better. And a lot of people have tension and sinus connection because all this stuff is interconnected. But I will do a specific sinus one at another time. Okay, so not explaining it, but smush and pull. Smush and pull. And smush and pull in a circle. You can even feel some like little nodules and grindiness. Switch hands, smush and pull. This one helps with nose swelling. Oops. There's a little doggy named Bobby here. My dogs are at the other house. We have kind of a complex house situation right now, which I can share with some of my jungle updates. Let's smush and pull and shush. Notice the breath going through the nose a lot better. It's unblocked within just a couple seconds. So if you do start seeing congestion or that you're not getting full oxygen, please do that when rub your nose, which I know isn't great right now, but certainly do what you need to do it in private or disinfect if you do it. All right. The other one that we are going to do for general bottom face tension is that we're going to do knuckle rolls. So I'm basically putting fists, knuckle, and I roll my knuckles into my face all along my cheekbone. And I'm kind of leaning into it, and you'll start to feel like, oh, sweet relief from tension going away. Pull the ears again. Wiggle it around, see if there's no cracks. So we're at about 18 minutes of facial pressure points and stretching and breath work. So this neck connects, this whole bottom part connects, and most of it leaves out of the ears. So that will help with some of that lockjaw and teeth grinding. You'll actually lose the memory of having to press. But I will say, more than anything, start to notice throughout the day if your mouth is tight. Start to notice throughout the day if you're holding tension in your face, if you're pressing your jaw together, and do your best to just relax it. Because if you're not adding tension in there, it's less to clean out. If you're doing it throughout the day, it just builds and builds and accumulates. So this is what we're doing. We're opening that stuff up. We're stretching that stuff out. And we're allowing that once the body is open and relaxed, the body wants to flush it naturally. Our body is naturally wanting to heal it, but more times than not, we're actually the one clenching and holding on. So I wish for you less pain, less suffering, and more health in your life. Big hug from Peru, and thanks for spending some time on you and doing the self-care. Rather than saying, oh, I should have done more of this, just say, wow, that felt really good. I'm proud of you. And it helps you remember to do it the next time. All right. See you next time.